Okay, hello everyone. So in this video, I'll be ranking all the Splatoon 3 specials on the tier list, and I won't be ranking any of the returning Splatoon 2 specials because I already did that in the previous video. If you want to watch it after this one, the link will be in the description. So let's just make a new tier, Splatoon 2 specials. Okay, and in there, that would be Booyah Bomb, Inkjet, Tentamissiles, Ink Storm, and Ultra Stamp. Okay. So now getting into the actual tier list, I think I'm going to put Zipcaster in D tier. So Zipcaster gives you, it's basically Spider-Man. Basically, you're allowed to fly across the map, basically, with these little ink, I don't know what to call them, like, with these little lines of ink allow you to swing across the map like Spider-Man. It's really helpful for getting in close, so which makes it really good in short-range weapons and to counter the long-range weapons. But you know, if any long-range weapon has this Zipcaster, then it kind of ruins the entire kit. But the reason I'm putting in D tier is because there's just so much counterplay and weaknesses. Like, I'm pretty sure we don't know this yet, but I'm pretty sure you can shoot the Zipcaster down. Maybe it has armor, but we don't know that yet. And also, when it lands, you know, it has the recall like the Inkjet, so people can spawn camp you. Like, and also it moves in such a predictable pattern. Like, you're going in a straight line where people can easily see. They can probably throw a bomb where you land. So there's just a lot of things, a lot of weaknesses to this special. It'll probably be really good on the Octo Brush. And I can see this being really good in tower control for just getting anyone off the tower. Just getting anywhere really quickly if you really need to, like, splat the Rainmaker really quickly. And then once the special ends, you go back to your landing point. So yeah, Zipcaster will be in D tier. But I don't think any of the specials are really that bad. Like, I don't think any of these specials will be as bad as Splashdown was. So next in C tier, I'm going to put Killer Whale 5.1. So this special gives you 6 speakers. I don't know why they call it 5.1 if it gives you 6 speakers, but basically these 6 speakers work like little mini stingrays from Splatoon 2, where you get 6 lasers that in this like sort of area, it'll target anyone in that area, and it seems to follow them if they're in that area. And I think if there's no one in the area, then it'll just go in a line from left to right. It'll just move from left to right. But here's the thing, so it's probably harder to get splats with this special than the OG Killer Whale, because with the Killer Whale, it blocks anyone off from getting in that area, because, you know, it's basically, if you get in there, you get splatted in a second. But with this, it sort of targets you, and it doesn't splat you instantly, so if you can, like, sub-strafe and avoid it, I'm pretty sure this special can be easily avoided. That is to say that there are going to be some situations where you can't sub-strafe, and you will get splatted. I just do think that it's not going to be great, but I don't think it's going to be horrible either. And we don't know if the speakers can be broken. It's a bit hard to decide this ranking because we don't know enough about this special yet. So in B tier, I'm going to put the Reef Slider. So the Reef Slider is basically Kraken from Splatoon 1 2.0. It gives you, you're on this shark, and basically you go in this straight path and explode at the end. It's basically Splashdown, but instead of going in the air, you go forward. But this looks better than Splashdown. It has some sort of protection, as you see, because the Hydra Splatling should have splatted the Reef Slider here, but it didn't. So you definitely get some sort of protection, and basically you dash forward and then you explode. And we do know from the direct that you can explode early, which is good. It makes the special a little less unpredictable, a little more unpredictable, and a bit harder to counter, and, you know, a bit easier to use. It's not like Splashdown where you couldn't adjust the height. So I do think this special will be great. I don't know if it can go up walls. I'm assuming not, and it doesn't look like you can steer. So I think this will be a really solid special. But again, I'm pretty sure it looks like it has some beginning lag and end lag. And this shark really only protects you from the front, so maybe you can be splatted from the behinds like Ultra Stamp. I don't know. So that's why I'm going to put Reef Slider in B tier. And also in B tier, I'm going to be putting the Tacticooler. Oh, that's gonna be ahead of... Okay, so the Tactical Cooler basically gives you this fridge with 4 drinks, and basically you and your teammates can take one each that'll give you a speed boost, and we don't know the other effects, but we know there's gonna be other effects besides speed. So maybe it's like Ink Saver sub, Ink Saver main, Ink Recovery up, we don't know. We just know it gives run and swim speed up for now. And we also don't know how long this special lasts. Maybe it lasts 8 to 9 seconds, or maybe it lasts until you get splatted. So we don't know that either. But this will be amazing in Rainmaker, because, you know, the Rainmaker can just take one of these and then it'll be faster, which is something the Rainmaker really needs because of its lack of mobility. And, you know, in Splat Zones, if it does give you Ink Saver or some type of ink better for your ink efficiency, it'll help you get the zone better than the enemy because you have more paint output. So definitely a more supportive special, and I think it'll be pretty solid too. But again, it's not like Ink Armor where anyone just gets it from anywhere on the map. You actually have to be near the Tactical Cooler to get the effects. So now in A tier, I'm going to be putting Crab Tank there. So Crab Tank, this gives you sort of a mech that has 2 firing modes. It has a quick shooter-like firing mode, and it has sort of like a blaster slash inkjet type of firing mode. And you can also be protected in this ball form, but we don't know if the ball form is invincible or or it's more like a shield and it can break. I feel like it should be a shield that you can break, or this special might be a little too broken in tower control because you can just stay on the tower, and if you have no knockback, you can just stand there and get some easy points. So this will basically just be really good at... It's basically a better main weapon, where basically you have a good firing mode and you have a good blaster mode. So it has... it's probably going to be very versatile too, and yeah, you basically can use this as an escape route if you want to go into the ball form, and this has no ends lag after. Like, you can just start shooting right away. So this will be probably really good in all the modes, really. Like, this is not a very mode dependent special. I can see this being really good in all the modes. So next I'm going to be putting Triple Ink Strike also in the A tier. Okay, so the Triple Ink Strike, it's the Ink Strike from Splatoon 1, except you get 3 smaller ones. So upon activation, you get to throw 3 sort of missiles that when land, they make sort of a tornado that'll splat anyone inside of it. But it does give you a warning. So once you throw it, the enemies have a warning, so they know what to move. But since you get 3 of them, they see it. They have a warning, they swim one direction, then you throw it where they're gonna go, and then let's say they only have one more direction to go, you go right where you know they're gonna go. So I feel like this will be better getting splats than the OG Ink Strike. This will be probably very good in tower control for getting rid of the tower. You can see this having uses in Rainmaker for blocking Rainmaker paths, Clam Blitz for, you know, preventing people from scoring, Turf War for just extra paint, and Splat Zones for getting the zone, which I can see it doing a lot better than Booyah Bomb, because it does look like it paints a little better than Booyah Bomb. So next in S tier, I'm going to put the Wave Breaker. So the Wave Breaker, basically, once you deploy the special, every 2 or so seconds, it'll make a wave, and if enemies touch that wave, then it'll take, we don't know how much damage, we know it's a 3-shot, so I'm assuming, I feel like 38 to 40 damage would be good. And they'll also be located, so it's basically the Echolocator 2.0. It does damage, but also locates enemies. And it does go through walls, and it has a pretty big radius, so I can see this being really good for map control. And it just makes your enemies move in a very predictable pattern, because, you know, they have to jump over it, or they'll be located and take damage, which is, you know, not good. The Wave Breaker might be able to be destroyed because it is a deployable. I'm assuming not, because I feel like that might make it too weak. And this will just really give you the advantage in fight. And for like weapons like the 96 Cal or Range Blaster who really suffer from jump RNG, this will be a pretty good counter to them because it forces them to jump. Splat Zones, this will be good for just trying to get people out of the zone. Rainmaker, you know, kind of blocking the path. And I'm not sure how great it'll be in tower control because it doesn't have any height to it. And Clams, it'll be okay. And Turf War, yeah, probably okay. So also in S tier, I'm going to put the Kaizuka. So the Kaizuka is similar to the Inkzuka from Splatoon 1, but except you only get 3 shots. So this special gives you 3 projectiles per shot, and you get 3 shots. So basically you get 9 projectiles. And we do know that 2 projectiles equals a splat. So I feel like it should do like 60 or 70 damage, or maybe 80, because I feel like that's a reasonable amount. So this will probably be really good at getting people off the tower, because, you know, big projectiles coming. Rainmaker probably can splat the Rainmaker pretty easily. Turf War, you know, helping you in the 1v1, and, you know, the other modes just helping you in 1v1. But this does look like sort of like Inkjet and Inkzuka, more of a like skill-dependent special, because, you know, you have to kind of aim with it. So it depends on the player. In the hands of a very good player, this will be great, but with a newer player, it might take some getting used to. So that's why I think it gets S tier. So in X tier, I'm gonna put the Big Bubbler. So the Big Bubbler gives you, it's sort of like a splash wall, but as a special. So you deploy this device, and after around like a second, it'll make a shield or a bubble around you that prevents you from all damage. And the only way you can really destroy the Big Bubbler is from attacking the top, which will shrink it. And also from this logo, you can see a squid beacon here. So maybe your allies can jump to this, and that would be really good, because, you know, you're protected in it. So that's one reason for why it's an X. Also, if your opponents can't enter the Big Bubbler, which I'm assuming they can't, and if they can, then they'll probably take damage. I don't know. But, you know, it basically blocks off a path if they can't enter it, which will be really good. And, you know, basically gives you invincibility in 1v1s. And this will probably be insane in Clam Blitz, because you can just deploy the Big Bubbler and throw clams in, and they'll have to get through the Big Bubbler before they get to you. And, you know, Splat Zones, it'll help get the zone or defend the zone. And in Tower Control, you know, if you're at a checkpoint, you can just use this and be protected. But that makes me feel like it'll be a little too broken, so I feel like the special should, if someone enters or leaves the special, they should take some amount of damage. I would say 20 to 30 sounds good. So yeah, that's why this gets X. And you all probably saw this coming. The number 1 Splatoon 3 special, in my opinion, is Ink Vac. This special looks absolutely busted. So basically, you have this vacuum that makes this sort of wind gust that'll block all attacks, which will help shield your allies or yourself, which would be insane in Tower Control. If someone's on the tower, Rainmaker can shield the Rainmaker. You know, clams can now protect people with clams. And did I mention that after the shield, you get a Rainmaker explosion? And the more ink this vacuum absorbs, the bigger the Rainmaker shot will be. So let's say it's Rainmaker and you're trying to defend against a push, and the Rainmaker shoots a shot into here, and we know Rainmaker shot is pretty powerful. Imagine if you can just retaliate with an even bigger Rainmaker shot. Like, this is gonna be absolutely broken. And like, even in Turf War it'll be good, because, you know, having a Rainmaker shot is nice with some invincibility. So this special will probably get some nerfs, either to its damage, or you can like attack people through the Ink Vac. But I don't know how that would work, because I feel like that would make the special too weak, because you can just attack the person using the Ink Vac from the front. So definitely this special is going to need some balancing nerfs, but I don't know how they're going to do it, because I feel like the only way you can nerf this special is with the damage and not the shield, because that's kind of hard to do. So yeah, that's my rankings for all the Splatoon 3 specials. Thanks for watching!